Wondering if you should get back together with an ex? Is it really a good idea? Well, the answer isn't always as simple as it may seem. In this video, I'm going to guide you through the process and help you reach a decision. Should you try to win your ex back, or should you move on for good? Hi guys, I'm Brad Browning from Love Learnings. I have a bunch of new videos coming up about dating your ex, so please subscribe now so that you don't miss out on those future videos. As a breakup coach, I know that breakups can cause a lot of pain, and sometimes winning your ex back really is the answer to all your problems. At other times, winning your ex back is impossible, or at the very least doomed to end in disaster. So how can you tell the difference? First, I want to caution you against rushing to the answer to this question one way or another, because the indecision that you feel can actually be a powerful tool in your arsenal. One of the biggest pitfalls when trying to win an ex back is desperation. If you're not totally sold on getting back together with them, you won't have to fake it. You'll actually be more aloof and standoffish, and this is bound to drive your ex wild with desire. Remember, people always want what they can't have. So try to relax and remember that while you're unsure, this actually means that you hold a lot of the power in this situation. But this video isn't about how to get your ex back, or even if you have any hope of making it happen. I've made a ton of other videos on that topic, so you can check those out after you've finished watching this one. No, this video is about answering one simple question. When should you try to get back with your ex, and when should you just move on? Now, I'm guessing you're watching this video because you're obsessing over this exact topic, and you can't make up your mind one way or another. And it's good that you haven't rushed this decision. When you do decide to restart a relationship with an ex, it can open up old wounds that have only just begun to heal. Now, I'm going to make a series of statements that I often hear from my clients, and then we'll explore each one and determine if they're a good reason to get back with your ex, or if they mean that you should move on. Number one, I miss my ex so much it hurts. Your breakup, it feels like a raw wound, and you're worried that if you and your ex don't reconcile, then you'll never feel better. Now, this can be one of the most compelling reasons to get back with an ex, but it's also one of the worst. The truth is that while getting back with your ex may stop the pain in the short term, in the long run, there's no good reason that you won't end up right back in the same place. And as difficult as this may be to hear right now, you will be able to move on given enough time and effort. Now, I know that getting your ex back might seem like the only move you can make, but if that's your primary motivation, then making the conscious decision to move on is actually the right path forward. It will take time, but in a few months you'll realize that you've made the right decision. Number two, we had a great relationship that was ruined by one stupid mistake. Now, if this describes your scenario, then you should seriously consider getting back together with your ex. Whether the mistake was yours or your ex's, if it was really something small that drove a wedge into your relationship, sometimes it just takes correcting this mistake to give you and a chance at a future together. So, for example, maybe your ex caught you texting a member of the opposite sex and lying about it. Or maybe one of you even cheated. And while this is clearly a difficult issue to work through, it can be done. And if your relationship was otherwise successful, then you do have a real shot of winning him or her back and being happy together. But do be cautious here. Oftentimes, what may seem like little mistakes might be symptoms of deeper issues in your relationship. And you do need to make the effort to find the root cause here if you want to make this work. Number three, I'm worried that I won't ever find anyone as good as them. Now, this is a common refrain that I hear from my clients, and I think you'll be surprised by my response here. I actually think that in some cases, you're right. This can actually be a good reason to try it again with your ex. Now, I know that most dating coaches will tell you that there's always someone more suited to you out there, and in a lot of cases, I would agree. There are a lot of single people out there, and if you're still young, there's nothing keeping you from getting out there and meeting new and interesting people. But in many situations, this just isn't realistic. Maybe you're looking for a very specific type of person to spend your time with. Maybe you have certain issues in your life that make it difficult to date. Maybe you have a disability or a condition that makes meeting new people almost impossible. There's often plenty of reasons that this person is uniquely perfect for you, and if that's the case, then there's no shame in trying again. Just remember what led to this moment and don't take them for granted moving forward. Number four, what if it just ends up in exactly the same way? Now, this is a valid concern that you need to address if you're thinking about restarting a relationship with your ex. The truth is, if you don't address what went wrong in the first time, there's no reason that it won't happen all over again. So think about what really broke you up. I'm not talking about the particular fight or the issue that split you up, but also the underlying issue that provoked it. Now, this is often easier said than done, so I recommend that you actually write it down on paper so that you can get a clear sense of what went wrong. If you have trouble putting it into words, try talking it out with a trusted friend or family member. And if you are looking for someone to discuss your breakup with and really get to the bottom of what went wrong, consider signing up for my email coaching program. Just go to breakupbrad.com/coaching right now to learn about how I can help you sort things out. Again, that's breakupbrad.com/coaching. And number 5, I've changed since the breakup, and I'll do anything to make them happy if they just give me another chance. Now, this can be a great attitude and one that will take you far when it comes to rebuilding a relationship with your ex, but you do have to be careful. So let me quickly explain. It's great that you've changed, and this kind of self-reflection is essential to building a better relationship this time around. But I often find that if you start with the mindset that you'll do anything to make them happy, you may find that things don't work out in the long term. And this is because you've set the table for an unequal relationship from the very start. While it may be romantic, if you put their happiness above all else, the relationship will be unsustainable. Not only that, but your ex will start to lose respect for you if you bend over backwards to make them happy at all costs. Instead, I'd recommend that you zero in on what's going to be different this time around and focus on that going forward rather than making, sweeping general statements. So to summarize, if you're thinking about getting back with your ex, you need to consider a few things. Are you getting back together for the right reasons? Do you have a chance of a real future together? How are you going to make sure that things will be different this time around? Remember, the number one thing that determines whether or not you should get your ex back is your own mindset. If you feel positive, happy, and connected to your ex, I say go for it. It could be the beginning of something magical. All right, thanks so much for watching, guys. Do you have your own ex-back success story? Leave it in the comments below, and please also subscribe and like this video as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.